Welcome to Episode 39, Migration Tools, Azure Migrate, and Databox, where we look at how organizations move workloads and data into Azure safely, efficiently, and with measurable confidence. Migration is not a single event, but a disciplined process. Discover, assess, plan, and execute. The challenge lies in balancing speed with accuracy, moving quickly without losing visibility or control. Azure provides two key families of tools to support that journey: Azure Migrate for online discovery and replication, and Databox for secure offline transfers. Together, they cover both live systems and massive datasets disconnected from high-speed networks. When used with a clear roadmap, they turn uncertainty into a predictable sequence of steps. Migration succeeds not through heroics, but through structure, and these tools embody that philosophy. Azure Migrate begins with discovery and assessment, helping you understand what you have before deciding how to move it. The discovery process inventories servers, databases, and applications, then collects performance data to estimate cloud readiness. This matters because every migration is really a portfolio decision: what to rehost, what to modernize, what to retire. For example, a company may discover that only half its virtual machines are still active, saving effort and cost before replication starts. A common misconception is that discovery slows progress. In reality, it saves rework by revealing dependencies and hidden workloads early. Azure Migrate turns what could be guesswork into a data-driven foundation for your migration plan. Server migration through Azure Migrate relies on replication and planned cutover. The service replicates disks and configurations from on-premises or other clouds into Azure, creating synchronized virtual machines ready for switchover. During the migration window, it performs incremental updates to minimize downtime. When ready, you can trigger cutover, stopping the source system and bringing up the Azure copy. This controlled transition allows testing, validation, and rollback if needed. A misconception is that replication alone equals success. You still must confirm network, identity, and application connectivity in the new environment. Plan a verification checklist that tests every service dependency before declaring victory. With structured replication and testing, server migration becomes routine rather than risky. Database migration has its own set of tools and paths under the Azure Migrate umbrella. The Azure Database Migration Service assists in moving SQL Server, Oracle, MySQL, and Postgres workloads to Azure SQL Database, Azure Database for Postgres workloads, or virtual machines. It automates schema conversion, data copy, and validation, often running in parallel with live systems to reduce cutover time. This matters because databases are often the hardest components to move without disruption. A misconception is that every workload should move to a platform database. Licensing, features, and legacy code may make virtual machine hosting more practical initially. Assess each database independently, test performance under real load, and involve application owners in planning. Successful database migration is as much collaboration as technology. Cost estimates and performance baselines bridge assessment and business justification. Azure Migrate's cost modeling uses collected performance data and pricing calculators to predict monthly expenses. It includes compute, storage, and potential savings from reserved instances or hybrid use benefits. Comparing this to current infrastructure costs clarifies return on investment and strengthens executive alignment. Baselines also let you measure performance after migration to confirm improvements. A misconception is that the estimate is a fixed bill. It reflects assumptions that must be validated under real workloads. Reviewing estimates after pilot migrations ensures ongoing accuracy. When cost and performance are visible, migration shifts from a leap of faith to a measurable improvement project. Azure Databox enters the picture when data volume or bandwidth constraints make online transfer impractical. It is a family of physical devices designed to move data securely to Azure through offline shipment. Rather than pushing terabytes over a slow or costly connection, you copy data to the Databox device locally, ship it back, and Azure imports it directly into your storage account. This matters for initial bulk seeding, remote sites with poor connectivity, or disaster recovery ingestion. A misconception is that offline transfer is outdated. In reality, physics and economics still make trucks faster than networks at scale. Databox complements online migration by solving the first-mile problem for massive datasets. The Databox family includes three models: Databox Disk, DataBox and DataBox Heavy. DataBox Disk uses up to 5 solid-state drives shipped to you for small to medium transfers, typically under 35 terabytes. DataBox, the rugged briefcase-sized unit, handles around 80 terabytes, while DataBox Heavy scales to multiple petabytes using rolling racks. This range means you can pick a size matching both data volume and logistics. A misconception is that larger models are always better. Smaller ones often simplify customs, handling, and chain of custody. Choosing the right form factor balances efficiency with convenience. Each model arrives pre-encrypted and tamper-evident, ensuring security from doorstep to data center.
Ordering, shipping, and security controls form a chain of trust throughout the DataBox process. You order through the Azure portal, where devices are allocated, tracked, and encrypted with Microsoft-managed keys or customer-provided ones. Every device includes built-in tamper detection, and shipment uses trusted carriers with end-to-end tracking. When data is copied, it remains encrypted at rest and in transit back to Azure. Upon arrival, Azure staff import the data directly into the specified storage account, then wipe the device following certified sanitization standards. A misconception is worrying that data persists on the device after return. It is cryptographically erased. Clear procedures make the process compliant for regulated industries needing auditable custody.
The import workflow itself is straightforward yet precise. Once you receive the device, connect it locally, unlock it with provided credentials, and run the copy utility or use standard file copy commands. The DataBox monitors progress, generates logs, and validates checksums during transfer. When complete, you finalize the job in the portal, ship the device back, and track its progress to the Azure facility. After import, you receive confirmation and detailed reports. This process provides visibility at every step, matching the rigor of enterprise backup operations. A misconception is that manual copying increases human error. The built-in software automates most steps and verifies integrity automatically. Treat each shipment like a mini project, planned, logged, and confirmed.
Choosing between offline and network migration paths depends on scale, connectivity, and urgency. For small workloads or continuous synchronization, online replication through Azure Migrate is best. For bulk transfers measured in terabytes or when network capacity is constrained, DataBox accelerates timelines dramatically. Some organizations use both, DataBox for initial seeding and Azure Migrate for incremental deltas afterward. The decision is not either/or, it's about sequencing. A misconception is assuming offline means disconnected forever. Once data lands in Azure, normal synchronization resumes. Evaluate total transfer time, cost per terabyte, and operational complexity before selecting your route. The right path aligns physics, policy, and project deadlines. Pilot migrations and rollback planning convert theory into readiness. A pilot proves that discovery data, replication schedules, and offline shipments work as expected on a small subset of systems. You validate dependencies, permissions, and post-move functionality before scaling up. Rollback plans define how to revert if something fails, keeping source systems intact until success is confirmed. A misconception is skipping pilots to save time. In reality, a one-week test avoids months of cleanup. Build rollback into change control, capturing lessons learned for the next wave. Migration maturity grows with each iteration, turning uncertainty into routine. A migration roadmap ties all these steps together. Discover and assess with Azure Migrate, plan with sizing and dependency data, execute replication or DataBox transfer, validate performance, and refine. Document decisions, assign owners, and keep both technical and business stakeholders informed. The misconception is that migration ends when servers move. It continues through optimization, governance, and eventual modernization. By treating migration as an ongoing capability supported by proven tools, you gain not only a successful project, but also a reusable framework for the next transformation. Azure Migrate and DataBox together give you precision, security, and momentum for every move that follows.